Hey YouTube, this is Archangel for Truth, and today my video for you is addressing Steve Lehtos and the issue of the word or. Now, I want to explain why I'm doing this particular video. It is actually in response to Steve Lehtos' video where he claims that sovereigns don't understand the word or. But I'm going to explain why it actually is that Steve Lehtos is the one that doesn't seem to understand the word or. And I would add to that, many anti-sovereigns also don't understand the word or. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, as I said, Steve Lehtos has done a video on this issue, and it's a ongoing issue with anti-sovereigns. And so how I'm addressing this is as it pertains to the 10th Amendment, and why it is that the 10th Amendment is not just an amendment that grants to states authority not delegated or power not delegated to the United States, but it also grants or recognizes the fact that that same authority is also to the people, and it describes them separately from the states. So we know that it's not talking about the people within the states, but people unto themselves. And so I'm going to read the 10th Amendment to help us understand the argument and the issue that is of concern here. So the 10th Amendment says, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. Now, this is very important because anti-sovereigns are notorious for using the 10th Amendment to justify why their state regulatory authority is able to put regulations out there that requires people to follow. But what they fail to consider is the last part of the 10th Amendment. And Steve Lehtos, you also do not recognize this, and you by your own videos, you clearly show this. And that's the last part where it says, or to the people. So what is it saying there when it says, or to the people? Because we know the first part is saying that the powers that are not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, so there's clearly stipulating that there are certain authorities not given to the United States government. But it's also saying, but not prohibited by it to the states. So the Constitution, where it's not prohibiting to the states, it allows that there are powers delegated that are reserved to the states, but not just to the states respectively alone, but also or to the people. And this is where sovereigns and anti-sovereigns divide, because anti-sovereigns only wants this to be applied to the states. And that's also how Steve Lehtos the way you address sovereigns is you think that it's only applicable towards the states, but you fail, both of you, to apply it as it pertains to the people. And those are sovereign people. And so, with that being said, Steve, I'm going to actually have you describe the difference in the word or and why that's so important in this situation.
First thing you have to notice is to use the word or. Or is what we call a disjunctive. The disjunctive. It means that if I tell you you can pick among these three items, this, or this. This one can work, this one can work, or this one can work.
So we see here, Steve, with what you're saying, sovereigns typically like to understand the meaning of words. And so they'll use, for example, the Black's Law Dictionary, which is a legal dictionary. And so why don't you give us your take on how you feel sovereigns are wrong? Okay?
Encounter that a lot when I'm trying to deconstruct what these sovereign citizens are arguing. Because they'll often say things like, well, look at this definition. And they will do this with dictionaries. And they'll say, look at this dictionary definition. And it'll say, this word means this, or this. And they'll go, so it means this. And they'll point to the first one. Well, it could also mean the second one. Or the third one. Or the fourth one. Or it might mean the last one.
So, and I agree with you that in order for us to understand the definition of a word, we have to take in not just the meaning of the word, but its context as well. So I get you on that point. But how do we then apply that as it pertains to the word or in the 10th Amendment and how it pertains to the people? And you see, that is where you are not understanding, because that power that is not delegated to the United States is delegated, or respectively, that where it's not denied by the Constitution to the states or to the people. So that's where sovereigns come in. And that's the part that you don't seem to understand, Steve. So, Steve, now that I've explained this to you, what is your feeling as regards to the way the 10th Amendment is using the word or and how it applies to states or the people?
Either or are correct, right? It could be this or it could be this.
See, I agree with that 100%. And that is really the way we need to understand the 10th Amendment as it is so described. So, Steve, now that we've addressed this issue as it pertains to the 10th and how the people have the same authority that states have, what would you say is the motivation or the reasoning why it is anti-sovereigns and individuals such as yourself really just don't get it? I mean, they have these arguments that just are way out there that aren't according to the Constitution. They want to put case law above the Constitution. What would you have to say about these individuals?
These arguments are silly, okay? And that's one of the reasons I have a hard time taking them seriously. But there are grown people out there putting up websites and promoting this stuff. And the sad part is that people fall for it. Most of the people who fall for it are either a little not as tight up here as they should be. Or they're desperate. Many people who get desperate start looking for other solutions.
Yeah, I would say that is true. You know, I would say that when individuals, let's say in law enforcement, want to require certain things, certain statutes of people, so that they can have something that they can use against them, that they might desperately apply these statutes to sovereigns and require of them that they follow these things, not recognizing that the people have the same authority as the states do. And the reason why we know that, the reason why we know that the people have this authority is because really it's the people that are sovereign. And I'm going to ask the Supreme Justice Judge Neil Gorsuch to kind of explain that a little better for us, and how the Ninth Amendment actually really describes what that authority is and that power is. And we're going to hear a question and answer from the Supreme Justice Neil Gorsuch, from the senator from Nebraska, I believe it is.
What's the best way to understand how the Constitution divides power between the federal government, the states, and the people? And in particular, how do we know whether or not some power that has not been specifically enumerated and given to the federal government, since the people give the government power, the government doesn't give us rights, the people gave the federal government certain enumerated powers. If it's not enumerated, how do we know if it belongs to the states or to the people? Senator, we've talked a lot about federalism in this last few days. The people in this country are sovereign. As Lincoln said, it's a government by the people, for the people.
There you have it. The people are sovereign. And so, there you have it, folks. We now see the importance of the word or. And Steve, I'm going to give you the last word on this one.
So there you have it, the problems with the word or.
Yes, indeed. So Steve, I've had to do this video because, well, to be honest, sir, I have attempted to reach you, and at this point, I'm leaning on the side of you're really trying to ignore me at this point, ignore answering my challenge, because I've totally debunked your theory, your legal opinion, if you will. Now, I realize that you're not a constitutional lawyer. You're a lemon law lawyer. Well, maybe you should stick to the lemon law. And if you're going to address issues of sovereignty, well, maybe you should learn a little bit more about the Constitution if you're actually going to address this issue in an informative way and you understanding the word or, sir. May you have a good day, and to all those that have watched this video or heard this video, I wish to say I thank you. Please like and share this video. Get Steve to respond to this. That's all I've ever asked of him to do. This is my second video that I've done trying to address you, sir, Steve Lehtos. So, hopefully either you or those who watch your videos will see this and inform you of it. So, Steve Lehtos and everybody out there, I wish to say, God bless you and take care.